The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I am here with my husband, co-host, fellow realtor, Pat Devaney.
Good morning.
How are you, Pat?
I'm good. How are you? You beat me to it.
Yes.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing very well. Thank you. We have with us special guests today. We have Biros, Septic and Drain Cleaning. We have Kim and McKenna Biros. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We are here every Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where we talk real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many exceptional realtors who've been listing, selling, and appraising real estate for over 50 years.
During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab and get a live view of Dunmore Corners, because you never know what the weather's going to be like this time of the year.
Yes. Check us out on social media. Look us up on jruddy.com, where we have all our archive radio shows and all the popular podcast apps that we feature the radio show on, plus all our listings, and view the MLS listings. That's jruddy.com, mobile-friendly jruddy.com. Okay, Biros, Septic and Drain Cleaning, Kim and McKenna Biros. Thank you again for being here with us. Can I have a little history and background on Biros?
Yeah, so we have been in business since 2002. We are family-owned. We have about 23 employees, 5 of us in the office, or 6, including Alan. He's in and out. And then the rest of the guys are out on the field. We operate 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're open from 7 to 4 every day, and then we have an after-hours answering service that is there for any questions or concerns that you have, and then they'll page one of us, and then one of us from the business will be in contact to answer any questions or concerns that you may have, and we do offer after-hour services as well.
Okay, so while you're talking there, where are you located?
We're located in Zion Grove, which is in between Hazleton and Bloomsburg.
But you go to...
All over.
All over the Northeast?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, as far as up as Tannersville, and then as far down as Pottsville, Orwigsburg, and then all the way over towards Benton, Bloomsburg, Catawissa.
Wow, you guys are everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how long have you been in business?
22 years, since 2002.
All right. You were 2 years old then?
Yep.
All right. Okay, you grew up in the business.
Yep.
Just like me. I grew up in real estate. My dad was the broker. My dad was the broker, and then, of course, I wanted to get into real estate, and here we are. As you were talking there, I thought of you have emergency services. You're available 24/7.
Yep.
How busy are your pagers on Christmas Day or Easter? And the holidays, New Year's Day.
More commercial accounts for sure. Residentials we'll see every now and again. I like to say that Tom and Judy forgot to get the septic tank pumped before they realized they were having 35 people over for Christmas or for Thanksgiving. So we're not really too busy with residentials, but more commercial accounts. Now, if it's a commercial account, we'll send our guys out. And if it's at an absolute emergency on a holiday, we'll send our guys. But we normally like to make sure they've had family dinner, time with their families, and then we'll get them sent out on the job.
Right. Okay. That's important. I love that you're family owned and operated. And so I heard some time ago, I forget from whom, but that's usually a busy time right around the holidays for companies like yourself.
Yeah. After New Year's, it was one of the busiest. It was really busy after New Year's. I don't know why, but after it rains too, for sure. After the rain comes. We were busy, and yesterday with the snow, too. I mean, we operate in all seasons. We're out there, in the summer, spring, fall, winter. If there's snow on the ground, we're still...
And if it melts at a quick pace, Is that something that you see problems?
Yeah, sometimes groundwater, the ground's saturated, so some people will have groundwater running into the tank. Groundwater is a big issue if you have a crack in the tank, if your riser's not sealed properly. The groundwater will cause you to fill up and then overflow.
And is that how usually people find out that they have a problem that they don't realize?
Yeah, that or a blocked line. Blockages are mainly our big issue.
Well, they start singing that Leonard Skinner song.
Yeah.
Oh, that smell.
Yeah.
What is that smell?
Yep.
Yep.
Smell that smell.
Can you smell that smell? That's the song.
Yeah.
That's how they know.
That's your commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
very
Yep.
good.
So, yeah, that's normally how they'll find out they'll have a problem. We also have a program where customers are on a routine maintenance. So some people get pumped out every 6 months, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. So a lot of times, that's about half of our schedule is our routine maintenance, whether that be our commercial accounts that are on our no hassle program or our residential.
Right. So you provide residential and commercial services.
Yep.
So you do inspections.
We do inspections, yes.
Let's talk about that. Because a lot of times when people are buying homes, and sometimes, when there's a septic, they've never had a septic system. So there's a lot of unknown. But a lot of the inspectors, they'll just throw dye.
Yeah, home inspections, we don't recommend. We recommend a full septic inspection. We are members of the PSMA. So
yeah, we are trained through the PSMA, which is the Pennsylvania Septic Management Association. And we must follow their guidelines being trained through them. So if we have, a buyer that wants to purchase a house, we tell them, about our PSMA inspections. And if a property is vacant for more than 7 days, a hydraulic load test must be performed. Okay. And then we start with the septic inspection first. Then like I said, if the property is vacant for more than 7 days, then we do a hydraulic load test. And then the last part of it would be pumping of the septic tank to make sure that there's no cracks or leaks in the bottom of that tank. So I know a lot of people that, when they're purchasing a home, they want to have the tank pumped before selling it. And that is not the way to go.
We don't pump with inspections. We will not pump the tank if it is not satisfactory. If your inspection were to come out unsatisfactory or unsatisfactory with concerns, we would then go back to our office and we would quote all of the repairs that needed to be done at the property. We would send that quote over to you, and then you would decide, if you wanted to get those repairs done. Now, if you didn't get those repairs done, the septic system would still be considered unsatisfactory until you had it inspected again and the repairs that we had sent over to you in the quote were done. Septic inspections are very important prior to buying a home, because later down the line, you may run into issues that you could have saved yourself if you would have had the septic inspection in the beginning. And that does happen. We do see that. People will buy a home. They'll call us to get some service, and then it turns into a pump truck having to go out. And then service has to go out to camera the line. And then they found a broken line, a saturated drain field. So we always recommend septic inspections for anyone buying a home. And making the necessary repairs if it is unsatisfactory, and having us do those repairs and then coming out and re-inspecting the system.
I usually tell the buyers that a septic inspection is very important. It's just like, like a person. Like, you can't tell if a person is sick by just looking at them. You need to do testing and probe around. So that's what I tell our buyers, that a septic inspection is very important, and you want to know is the system operating. It is a huge expense. It's a huge expense value to your home also. People just think, it's a septic tank, whatever, who cares? But really, it is a very huge expense to your house, and you want to make sure that it is in operating condition.
And how do you keep it in operating condition?
So we recommend just pumping your septic tank on a routine maintenance. It's just like you're not going to drive your car and not change the oil. So we recommend, pumping it on a routine maintenance. Now, we offer a no-hassle program where we can, set it up for you. We recommend, okay, how many people are living in your house? to say, get it pumped every 2 years, every 3 years. And we have a reminder program that we send you like a month ahead of time. We give you a phone call and we say, hey, it's time to get your septic tank pumped. Did you want to, set that up? Because, time gets away from you and you just don't you don't remember everything.
We also recommend not dumping grease down the line. That could cause blockages. That could cause long-term issues. All wipes that say they're flushable and septic safe.
No.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
Lies.
Yes. Yesterday, we just had a guy out on a job, and the inlet baffle was so blocked up with wipes. He was there on the job for about 4 hours trying to suck up everything. It was so thick and just all matted together. So any wipe that says it's flushable or septic safe, yes, it's flushable. It's not septic safe, though.
Yeah, you could flush it, and we'll come and clean them out.
Yep. Yeah. So no grease down the lines, no flushable wipes, no nothing like that. No chemicals. You don't need anything. There's actual bacteria inside of the septic tank that cleans it itself, and you don't need to add anything down the line, down the drain, nothing like that. We don't recommend Drano, anything like that.
Red
for
X,
blockages.
Nothing. Bleach.
No,
nothing.
So getting back to this dye test, most buyers think they're getting a good inspection, a thorough inspection. The dye tab goes down, and so they discover that there's no leaks, and they say everything is good.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you anything. You really want to know, like when we do an inspection, we check all the components of the pump. We check the components of the septic tank. We probe the drain field. We camera the lines going from the septic tank to the drain field, from the house to the tank. We do a thorough inspection, and that's what you want when you're purchasing a home.
Would a dye test discover if there was a blockage?
No.
Nope. A blockage, you would notice gurgling, bubbling on the drains. You would also notice some backup in the tub, shower, sink.
Toilet.
Yep, toilet. Floor drains sometimes even. You notice your water won't go down. That's how you detect a blockage. So normally, when the customer calls and says, well, my drain's gurgling, we know right away. Sounds like you have a blockage.
And a lot of people think at that point, oh, I need my septic tank pumped. That's not necessarily the case. It's you need the line blocked or unblocked. Mm-hmm. So we, have router jetter camera service, which is a 3-in-1 service.
Cameras included in that. Our jetter goes out 500 feet. The jetter is the high-pressured water that shoots through the line that will push the blockage out. The router is the cable that goes down into the line. That goes out 150 foot. So the router, like I said, is that line that will go out, and it'll kind of mash up and break up any blockage that's in there. And then we always camera the lines once the blockage is cleared to ensure that there are no further blockages or any breaks in the line.
My neighbor next door has just went through this. He had a blockage. He was pumping it out of his basement. He had his cousin Joe come over with the snake that was 50 feet long. He came over 3 or 4 times. Joe says, oh, you're not blocked. The blockage was about 55 feet out, and it wasn't straightened out until he broke down and spent a few dollars, which really wasn't a lot, and now he doesn't have that smell in his basement. Now he doesn't have the pumps. Oh, that smell, that lovely smell, and he doesn't have the pumps going. So
Yep.
break down and call. Like you were saying, you can't tell by looking at somebody. If I'm buying a car and I look at the paint is nice and shiny, how do I know if the engine or the transmission is shot? I mean, you got to get into it. You got to get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Now, sometimes what can also happen is you may think that you have a blockage. A lot of houses, older houses, will have cast iron pipe, and what happens is that cast iron breaks down over time. You flush those flushable wipes or the toilet paper, it'll get snagged on the pipe, and that'll also cause a blockage. So we do repair lines as well. We always recommend get that cast iron out there and get some new pipes in. Any breaks in the line or cracks in the pipe, we'll fix that as well. We do repair lines, but we only discover that from a camera. Once we camera it, we'll let you know. Normally the customer's standing right next to our guys as we're cameraing the line, and they're seeing, what's going on, and then the guy comes across the break and they're like, well, there's a break. So normally what will happen is the customer will go, okay, can you get me a quote? And we'll mark that out with spray paint so we know, and If we are digging anywhere where there's power lines or anything like that, a PA1 call is always made, and we always have a PA1 call number, and PA1 call is always known of where we are digging.
All right. So how does someone know? There's a lot of times when everything's fine in the basement and there is a collapsed pipe out in the front yard. How do you discover that?
So normally with collapsed pipes, we've seen it sometimes bubble up in the yard. It'll be oversaturated. It'll be extra wet in that area. So we'll come, they'll call us and we'll say, okay, we recommend running a camera down. So when we run the camera down, we'll find, just about almost exactly where or close to where the pipe is collapsed or, sunken in or broken. And then from there, like I said, we'll mark it out with spray paint, and then we'll get you a quote to have that dug open and repaired.
So you deal with insurance companies?
No.
We do not.
Okay, because a lot of times insurance policies cover this.
So normally what happens is the customer, they'll pay us in full, and then they can submit that to their insurance company upon paying us.
Okay. With us today is Buros Septic and Drain Cleaning, Kim and McKenna Buros. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
So our phone number is 570-889-3738. You can also go to our website, which is burosseptic.com, and you could fill out a contact form submission. When you fill out a contact form submission, it's going to ask you for your name, where you're located, and just a little summary of what's going on at the home. And then that gets sent directly over to our email. And then someone from the office will be in contact, or sometimes we'll send you an email back just stating to call into our office. But you could also call the phone number again, which would be 570-889-3738. And even if it was after hours, we do have an after hours answering service. At that point, like I said in the beginning, they would take down a message and then page one of us, and we would give you a call then, and we would go over some pricing. We would ask you what was going on and if you wanted service. A lot of the times, too, we also see customers say, you know what, we'll wait until tomorrow. So then at that point, we'll get you into our schedule for the following day.
Yeah, and guess what? You don't want to smell that smell.
Right? Absolutely not.
Well, we do.
That's what you do.
Wait. Smells like money. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
We have a 2-unit for sale at 238-240 Stanton Street in Wilkes-Barre.
Stanton.
That's what I said.
Did you say Stanton?
Stanton.
I heard Stanton.
No, you didn't. I think you're delusional, woman.
I did. I heard it. I think you're finally getting it.
Yeah, I lost my accent.
Is there a creek by it?
No, God, let's not get This is a great opportunity to start generating income. This building has 2 3-bedroom apartments with an updated kitchen, new flooring, and a new bath. This building sits on a 40 by 110 lot with a fenced-in rear yard with a storage shed. The units have separate water, gas, and electric, and the taxes are only $1,800 a year. This will be perfect to live in one unit and have the rent pay the mortgage. That's a 2-unit at 238-240 Stanton Street in Wilkes-Barre for $210,000, and that's listed by James Caceres of our office.
Thank you very much, Patrick Devaney. I'd like to say thank you to our special sponsor this week, Disaster Blaster. During these cold Northeast PA, for you, I'll say Northeast Pennsylvania
no, I can
winters.
say PA, that's all right.
All right, okay. These NEPA winters, frozen pipes, ice dams, and leaks are common, and you may be wondering who you should call for help. The answer is Disaster Blaster. With decades of experience with insurance claims, they have the skills, training, and expertise to get your house back to normal as quickly as possible. When disaster strikes, Disaster Blaster is here to make things right. Call 570-963-1123. That's 570-963-1123, and visit www.disasterblaster.com. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. When considering to sell or buy a home, why choose Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate? Let me tell you why. 70% of home buyers settle for the first agent they meet, and many regret it. 90% of home sellers hire an agent, but was it the right choice? Don't have agent remorse. I'm Jackie Ruddy, and I've been in and around the real estate business for most of my life. And at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, we've been selling real estate for half a century. But we do not do it halfway. You deserve better than average. Average doesn't help you. We know it's all about you and what you need. Century 21 is the #1 in brand awareness, is the most recognized name in real estate, and is the most respected in the industry. In this market, if you dream big, you need to move fast. So it makes perfect sense to contact Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, 570-344-6724, and visit jruddy.com. That's JRUDDY.com. We're back with more Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate at 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with Pat Devaney, my husband and fellow realtor.
And we're back.
We are back with Buros, Septic, and Drain Cleaning, Kim and McKenna Buros. So, ladies, I want to talk about finding and locating a septic tank. I don't know if it's just us, but we find a considerable amount of people that own property, selling their property, do not know where their septic is located.
We get about, maybe 10 calls a week about this.
Yes, very common.
All right. And then it's not just us.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
So we locate the septic with a push camera. And then once we locate the septic, you either have a choice to dig it yourself or we will come out and dig it. We will either dig it by hand or we'll bring in a machine.
Right. And our locator does let us know like how far down it is.
Yep.
Kind of looks like a little metal
detector.
Yeah, metal detector. And it tells us how far down the tank is to the lid.
How big is the lid?
2 foot, 3 foot, round or square.
Yep.
And you can also have more than one lid. Depending on your system, you can have 3 lids.
So when we locate, we make sure we'll locate all those lids. Once it is dug open, we do something that is called a riser installation. A riser just basically means that it brings that lid to ground level.
And no more digging.
Correct. No more digging. Once we install the riser, you'll be hassle-free. You'll always know where your septic tank is located. Half of our, actually not even more than half, always mostly have a riser.
A riser makes it very convenient, and it's also good for proper cleaning. People think that you can pump a septic tank through a 4-inch pipe or a 6-inch pipe, and that is not the proper way. What happens is it just is pumping. You're just pumping the liquids, and you're not getting the solids out. And the way I, kind of explain it is it's trying to like suck marshmallows through a straw. They're not going to come up. Okay. You need to, pump all of the solids and all of the liquids out. So to get a proper cleaning, back to maintaining your septic system, how we said about pumping it on a frequent basis, it should be done properly.
Yep. So when we see customers call in and they say that they have a 4-inch or a 6-inch pipe, we'll let them know, okay, we'll come pump it. It is not the correct way of pumping, though. We definitely recommend that you find that lid and get it dug open so we can clean it properly.
Do you have to stick like that big, long, 10-foot long, looks like a blender?
The crust buster.
The crust buster.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Sometimes, yeah.
Crust buster.
Yeah, it makes like a septic smoothie.
Yes, a septic smoothie.
Yes. So sometimes the crust buster will be needed. Depends on how thick the sludge is, or if there's a lot of wipes in there or toilet paper. The crust buster will mix that up and it'll get it liquidy enough so that we're able to pump it up.
And if you're pumping through a 4-inch pipe, you're definitely going to need the crust buster.
For sure.
Once you get that tank open, we'll get the lid open.
We also use the crust buster with grease because the grease will harden on the top of the grease trap, and we'll take the crust buster and we'll, bust up the grease so that way we could clean all that grease out properly and you don't have the big chunks or anything like that jamming up the hose going into the tank. So yes, the crust buster is something we use.
Back to pumping it out of a 4-inch or 6-inch pipe. What happens is that, like I said before, you're only getting the liquid out. And what happens is that the solids continuously build up and then push out into the drain field. And then you're going to have an unsatisfactory system.
So what is the most common blockage in a septic system? Would it be the wipes? Would it be grease?
Yeah, wipes, toilet paper. Tampons.
Feminine products.
Yes, tampons. Yeah, don't ever. They're not flushable either. Yeah.
All right, and there's pictures on your website. There was something that solidified that was all broken up. What was it?
That was cocoa butter.
Oh, right.
Or grease. So, yeah. Cocoa butter, grease.
The cocoa butter was from a commercial account. That was not like at a residential.
Yeah, no. Residentials, you're going to see more of like grease, but not as much grease as you would see at a grease trap or.
So what's the most common blockage on a sewer line?
Toilet paper.
The same thing, the wipes,
Yeah.
toilet paper, grease.
Okay.
Yep.
And
People just think, I'll dump this grease down the sink and it'll be okay. I'll run hot water. It's still going to harden in that line.
Mm-hmm.
Save yourself money and wipe it out.
Not good.
Nope.
Okay. With us today, Bureaus, Septic, and Drain Cleaning, Kim and McKenna Bureaus. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
You can give us a call at our office, which is 570-889-3738. Or you could go to our website, which is bureauseptic.com, and you could fill out something called a contact form submission. That asks for your name, your location, a phone number, or an email, and you'll just give us a little summary of what's going on, and then someone from the office will get back to you. Or you could give us a call at 570-889-3738.
And actual people answer the phone.
Yes.
Refreshing in today's world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not automated, like, hello, you've reached Bureau Septic and Drain Cleaning. We answer the phone.
I hate to say it, but you are in the minority, not just in your industry and like worldwide. And it's very frustrating from a consumer standpoint. So I love it. Thank you, ladies. I'd like to invite you back next week. Would you come back?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Pat?
Yes, we have a 3-bedroom split-level home at 547 Mount Olivet Road in Wyoming for $222,000. This home is in the Dallas School District, and it sits on a level 125 by 300-foot lot. This home has hardwood floors with endless possibilities. This home it's in need of some updating, but that is reflected in the price. This home is very close to Francis Slocum State Park. It has a newer roof, plenty of off-street parking, and a one-car garage. That's a 3-bedroom split-level home at 547 Mount Olivet Road in Wyoming for only $222,000, and that's listed by Sam Shelter of our office.
Okay, would you like to know where the most noisy states, meaning the most intrusive neighbors are?
New York?
You know the type of neighbor that knows what's in your underwear drawer?
Oh, Gladys Kravitz from Bewitched.
Peeking out the windows, watching who does what and when, and who purchases the most from Amazon.
Is it Scranton?
That's why I love the country.
Yeah. You have your neighbors far apart?
My daughter lives next door.
Okay.
Not her, my other daughter.
Okay. But states in the East and Southeast had the nosiest neighbors. Michigan is number 1. South Carolina is 2. Who do you think landed in number 3 spot?
Pennsylvania.
You got it. And it's tied between Kentucky and PA. On a scale of 0 to 100, PA has a nosiness score of 85.2%. Virginia is number 5. Ohio is number 6. The farther west you go, the less intrusive the neighbors are. New Mexico, Minnesota, Washington, California, and Idaho fill in the bottom 5. Nosiest cities, Memphis, Louisville, and Detroit. The third least nosiest city,
New York.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
despite the state being one of the nosiest, Philadelphia is one of the least nosiest. 86% of the respondents stated they have at least one nosy neighbor. Sometimes they themselves are that nosy neighbor. The observed snooping behaviors include peeking over fences, neighbors going through mail or packages, looking up their neighbor's property value online, looking up their neighbors on social media, and looking up their job or employers online. So how do people cope with this, and what do they do, and how do they find out? 2 in 5 have confronted them. A small fraction have moved away. 3 in 5 put up a fence or greenery to block their nosy neighbors. 1 in 4 installed a security camera, And I really don't know how you would find out that someone's like stalking you on Facebook or social media. So they didn't answer that, but I'd love to know the answer. We're out of time. Thanks for joining the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ready Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m.